In this video, I'm going to talk about energy drinks. It's a huge industry and is growing all the time. It's a billion-dollar industry, but you'll see a lot of information on the news and online. Are they dangerous? Should we be drinking them? Should they be banned? It's not a straightforward answer. The answer is yes and no. You know, it all depends on a few factors and the type of drinks as well. So I'm going to clarify that a little bit more in this video and also give you some information that you can also research more yourself. So let's get started. So before we get started, a common question is, should we be drinking energy drinks? And this is my opinion. The answer is yes and no, like I said before. I don't think anybody should be drinking energy drinks if they haven't got a very physical daily activity. Okay, so if you do work really, really hard and you're short, then maybe you should be taking an energy drink here or there. Or if you're an elite sportsman, then yes, as I'm going to show more in this video why. But otherwise, if you're just doing your daily routines, you know, and you're not really having very, very physical activity and you're low on energy, there could be a problem in most probably your diet, your exercise, your sleep, and there's other factors that I would say look at first, okay? And of course, it also depends on the quality of the drinks, because as you can see behind me, you know, many of these drinks are dangerous and a lot of them have been banned in certain countries. And I'm going to share with you why as I go along. So let's have a look at some of the dangers. You know, you'll see that there's a lot of side effects, you know, in the news. You know, there's people that have had deaths from heart attacks. They get arrhythmias and you see seizures, etc. And like it says, are they slowly killing us? Well, slowly and sometimes very quickly as well. Because that, like I said before, there have been lots of heart attacks and deaths, even in young people, after they've drank too many energy drinks. Now, it's not all types of energy drinks. You know, I'm going to show you what you should be looking for in these energy drinks, which is causing the problem, and you can research it more. But you'll see there's chest pains, dizziness, headaches, but there's a whole of other list of things that it does, you know, damage in the long term as well, you know. I mean, it definitely affects your blood pressure and all that sort of things. Again, I'm going to elaborate more on that. And it's not just hearsay. You're going to see that there's clinical trials that they do and tests as well. And it shows it does affect all these things, okay? But like I said before, we're still going to use energy drinks, you know, especially sports people. You know, it's hard to get all your energy from your foods, especially if you're training for so many hours in the day, okay? And playing in sports for so many years and, you know, even touch football in my later years. You know, we used to play for representative level and we used to play tournaments which, you know, played 4 or 5 games in a day. It's very hard to keep your energy sustained for the whole day. And don't forget, you're playing one game and then another game after an hour, or some of these people that are training 3, 4, 5 hours, it's hard to eat food in between. Because remember, you know, you need energy to convert the food into energy as well. So sometimes there's not enough time and you can bog you down. So yes, I would use energy drinks in those cases. But guys, here's the thing to look for, okay? The drinks that are causing the problems have mostly some of these nutrients which are dangerous. And you see, I'm just using an example. This is a Rev3 drink. When I do use drinks, this is the one I particularly use, but I'm just showing you an example. I mean, it might not even be available in the country that you're in, but look for ingredients similar to this wherever you are, okay? And what you should be leaving out is things like taurine, okay? You see down here, taurine, that is one that's causing most of the problems, and you'll see the literature. Taurine is something just so you know we need in our bodies, but only a small amount. Just like some of the other nutrients, we need them in small amounts, but not large. We need around 100 to 500 milligrams when you research online of taurine from all other sources that we get from our diets, and the natural source is better. Have a guess how much they're putting in these drinks when you look at the label. 1,000 milligrams for one drink. That is crazy. 1,000 milligrams, we've been told we should only be getting 100 to 500 milligrams. And face it, when you play sport, as we do, we don't just drink one can. We drink one can after each game. You know, we need energy. And so, you know, we could be drinking 3, 4, some people would drink 5 cans. Now, when you mix it with these other things like guarana, again, it's a type of caffeine as well. So it's taurine and some of these other things as well. It becomes a very dangerous cocktail, as you see in some of these videos that I've posted on my website, where you can get a little bit more in-depth information. Okay, so again, you'll see they'll have high levels of taurine, which, yes, it does give you that spike in energy, makes your heart beat faster, but that's the problem. When it beats too fast or too much, that's when you can go into these heart attacks or, you know, these arrhythmias. Okay, so that's where you'll see most of the literature on that is the dangerous. And it should tell you something, because some countries have banned taurine in their drinks altogether. So what does it tell you? You just can't ban something completely unless there's information there. But many of these energy drinks that you see behind me are banned because of the taurine. You'll notice the Rev 3 here, just an example. Like I said, there's other ones out there as well. Won't have any taurine, won't have any guarana. But what they will have, the better quality drinks, is things like L-carnitine. Now, L-carnitine, again, most of the fitness people know this. It helps you convert fats and other things into energy. Your body can produce some, but it was shown with, you know, extreme exercise, our body's not producing them up that much, depleted. So yes, that's where it can help with the elite athletes. Okay, coenzyme Q10. A lot of people know about that. It's very expensive as well to put in. So again, you'll see some of these other, you know, inferior quality drinks that won't put that in there. But coenzyme Q10, as I'm going to show in the next slide, is where we get most of our energy from, and it's produced within our cells in the mitochondria. Okay, so again, that's a good example. Ginseng, all that, people that know about that, that is a safe way to produce. And if you do have caffeine, because caffeine is needed in all the drinks, try to get caffeines from green and white tea extract. That is the safest form, okay, of caffeine, which is not going to damage. And you can see the difference in some other drinks. So again, I'm just giving you a couple of things there. B group of vitamins. We know the B group is good for energy. So you'll see a lot of the B group and not as much in the poorer quality. So I hope that's helping you a little bit on what to look for. And like I said before, look at the coenzyme Q10 levels. If they have, it's going to be a pretty good drink. You know, you see the cheaper ones, well, not necessarily cheaper. There's expensive drinks that just haven't got in there. And try to know sweeteners, artificial sweeteners. That helps as well, because we know that those. Again, I've got another video on that. There's a lot of problems with artificial sweeteners and artificial flavors, etc. Okay, sodium, salt, if you can. Not much. We don't need extra salt. And the calories as well. Look to have less calories, for obvious reasons. We don't want to be putting as many calories. But you can see, like I said before, 95% of the energy produced in our body is coenzyme Q10. But as we get older, we don't produce as much. That's why you notice all the kids running around when they're young, because they've got energy. And as we get older, we slow down a little bit. Okay. So like I said before, for sports people that, you know, expenditure of a lot of energy, yeah, energy drinks are, you know, it'll be helpful. And people that work really, really hard, but I wouldn't be taken on a daily basis, even if it's a safer drink like this. But still, you know, you shouldn't really be needing it, okay? And the other thing, guys, look at the sugar levels, okay? Because sugar does give you energy. As we all know, it spikes energy levels. You become more hyper, and then you have that big crash. And that's why we see that in the kids. Whenever you give them the sugar or candy, they're hyper for a while, and they become irritable and etc. It's not good for us. And there's so many other problems. You will have some sort of sugar in there. Look for the fructose. Fructose is the natural form. It is better than the other forms. And you can see with some of these drinks that have 60-something grams, 50, 30, compared to 17 with it. Now, what that is equivalent, because people get scared, 17 grams, that's equivalent to an apple. So is an apple bad for you? No. And that's what people don't realize. You do need certain levels of things, like water. You have too much water, it can kill you. You don't have enough, you get dehydrated. So you need some. Same with sugar. You have too much, it's bad, but you don't have any at all. That can cause problems as well. So don't be afraid if it's got some levels of sugar. It's got to be more the natural form. So I hope that makes sense. You know what? When I played professional sport, I used to play rugby league for a professional club for the Bulldogs for a while. You know, we're supposed to have the best fitness trainers, right? Nutritionists. Guess what they used to give us in trainings? Gatorade. That's where we grew up. This is in the 80s. Now, I'm sure, nutrition has advanced till then, but that's what we brought. I was told Gatorade was good. Have a look at Gatorade. 9 teaspoons compared to 10 with a can of Coca-Cola. Isn't that interesting? So would you be giving somebody 3 cans of Coke a day? Or 4? We used to drink at least equivalent to 3 of these 4 during our training sessions and after sport. And even after, so again, still till today, a lot of people don't realize how much sugar is in these drinks. So please avoid those, because all these things can lead to, diabetes as well. Now, I'm not saying this is the major cause. There's a lot of factors that cause diabetes. And we know once you get diabetes, basically what happens is you lose a third of your life because your arteries age a third faster and have all these problems with heart attacks, blindness, amputations, etc. Just to give you an example, look at the type 2, the percentage of new type 2 diabetes diagnosed that were children between 9 and 19. So it was only 2%. That's all back in 1980. Then it went up to 30 to 50% of all new type 2 diabetes were children between 9 and 19, right? They're supposed to be the healthiest. And it went up to 70% of all new cases. So something's going wrong there, right? I'm sure you'll agree. And I'm sure it's our foods as well and what we're eating. But, putting all that sugar in the energy drinks, I'm sure doesn't help either. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Now, there's a lot more information. If you're on a Facebook page, just leave some comments. If you have questions, I'll try and get as much information to you. If you do like the videos, guys, please like the videos. I do appreciate that as well. And subscribe if you want, or pass it on to anybody that you think might find value. If you're on a YouTube page, which I have on the Healthy by Choice YouTube, you'll probably find these videos underneath this video. I've put some of these links in there. This is a great clip to watch. It's an Australian clip which actually shows people did tests. People had energy drinks, and then you saw their blood cells became 2 times, 3 times, or even 4 times as sticky, depending on the health of the person. But every single person, after they had energy drinks, okay? You'll see in some of these videos, they did experiments where they drank the energy drink and tested their blood pressure. It went up. And even one of these videos shows where they tested the blood flow to the brain reduced by 40%. 40% just by having an energy drink. So is it a wonder why we get aneurysms or heart attacks, etc., when it slows down the blood flow? So the proof is there, and it's not the health. They said it's probably got nothing to do with the caffeine. It's got to do with the taurine. So all this stuff I'm telling you, I told you about, is in more detail on these videos, and you'll find it all there. You'll find something interesting on these videos also, that fighter pilots in the US are not allowed to have those energy drinks. I mean, these are knowledgeable people, right, in the field. Like, that it's been banned for a reason. They must know something as well, because it affects your reaction time. So again, if you want more information to find interesting, watch these videos. It should give you plenty of information. So thanks again for watching. Please subscribe if you like it. And like I said, pass it on to anybody that you think might find some value. Thanks again, guys. See you in the next video.